Howdy, everybody, and welcome back to Stranded Deep in Conversation, where I will ramble about whatever my brambled brain thinks of. See, I could barely even get that out. How you all doing? It's been going pretty well for me. I hope everyone's doing pretty well. I hope everyone's going pretty well. 'Cause I don't think that makes sense. First off, I just want to apologize in case you can hear all of the wacky stuff that's going on. Laundry's happening. My cat is having a wild time screaming his head off. It's a whole lot of fun over here, and I'm very happy to be part of the fun. But sorry, I almost just threw up in my mouth. Not long morning at all. Actually, it's noon now, and I'm only finally getting started with one of the things I wanted to do today, which is a lot. I have a lot planned, but I'll have to see how much I can actually get done. Don't mind me, I'm just resetting my dice trick. This is it's completely unrelated. I just saw it was knocked over at some point in the night, probably by one of my cats, so I'm fixing it for myself. Hope you're all doing well, and let's just jump straight into the best segment known to man, arguably, This Week in Retail. Jesus Christ, I almost just stranded deep in conversation again. Real stupid. This week, it was a train wreck. The first few days were absolutely insane. It started dying out and interesting until yesterday. So a fair amount of stuff happened, and a lot of it was just on Thursday. So literally last week. So it couldn't be more thematically tied in there. This week, I helped someone with their Christmas cards. So we do photos, and they wanted to do Christmas cards, because Christmas cards, it's almost that time, I guess. I don't personally see the point of Christmas cards. I get it if we were all still in, like, the mailman era, but we're in the email man era. You can just email a card to everyone that you know, right? Like, I feel like that just makes sense, and I wouldn't even do that anyway, because it's literally just like a once a year reminder to all your friends, hey, I exist and my family's doing great. Look, we have 2 new family members in this card. We're awesome. Haha. Hope you're doing just as awesome. If not, Merry Christmas, I guess. Idiot. That's always the vibe I got, because every single time the Christmas card that I've ever seen in my store is just a bunch of people gathered around, and they're just with their family and stuff. And I'm sure it's mostly just to be like, our family wishes you a Merry Christmas. But some of them, they look a little too smug, and some of them, when they come in, they're like, oh yeah, they're gonna love this. Like, it just seems wrong. Just seems off. I feel like it's not as wholesome of a reason to get the cards sometimes. But either way, I helped someone with theirs. I guess I should talk about what I'm trying to talk about. And the main reason I had to help them was because the first time they did it, it got cropped weird in our system, which is like, it happens. But with 80 cards, she printed 80 cards, and all of them had a bunch of extra crud on the sides, and it was like, well, shoot, what are we supposed to do about this? So they tried doing like a test of like 20 and in the store just to see if that would fix it, and it did. It had 20 perfect pictures, no problems, no cropping issues, everything was banging. And so they got another 80, because they're like, alright, cool, I'm ready to do this again. And they print out the 80, there's no gross lines or anything. She leaves, and then she comes back like 5 minutes later, and she forgot to add text, not only to the front, but some to the back. The back, she forgot to write her family's name, and then the front just had like 10 words she wanted, and she forgot to put them on. So we had to do it again, which was so much fun. So already at this point, we have spent, what is this? So it's 180. And so then we have to do another 80. But it was just absolutely ridiculous. And so she gets this other 80. And keep in mind, this entire time, every time her phone that she's doing it on is making her pay online. So every time she has to redo an order, she has to pay for them. So by the end of the night, she paid for 260 cards worth of just a bunch of hubbub, which is it's just sad. It's honestly just like she called the people to like refund it, and they did actually, which is really nice. I'm really happy for her, because this lady was nice. I'm not saying this like, oh, she was just a snotty bitch who like wanted her cards. No, she was actually really, really friendly and really nice, and she was nice to people on the phone, nice to people at the store. She was great. She just wanted her cards the way she wanted them because she seemed very perfectionist about it, which is fair. Because I mean, if you're going to do Christmas cards, you probably want to go all the way. But yeah, so we get another 80 done, and sorry, I'm just reading through the story here. Yeah, we do another 80, and at that point she leaves because she's just like, okay, I've spent like 2 hours here. I'm gonna leave to go home, which is fair. She got all her refunds that she needed. The cards looked like they should work, and you know what happens? The order goes in, and it's cropped weird again. There's a line on the side, there's a line on the top, and it's like, well, shit. So I call her, and she's like, I'm like, hey, it's not right. And she's on the brink of tears at this point because every time she's gonna have to constantly pay for these things. And she's like, screw it, I'm gonna come in tomorrow. We'll try to figure it out then. But oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's cool, you know, it happens. I just hope everything goes well on your refund side of things, and I hope it did. They said it would go. Hopefully it did. I haven't seen her in a bit. But yeah, so that was the first thing I walked into on Thursday when I went in last week, which was really fun. And also just other things happened that day. Some that I actually was really like, oh wow, that's awesome, and some things that were like, oh my god, what's wrong with some people? I'll start with the bad news. So someone, I was told by one of my coworkers that someone was taking too long in the bathroom. It didn't seem right, and I'm like, okay. So I go over there. And before I can even get into the hall where the bathroom is, there's a door, and then it's the little hall, and then it's the bathrooms. I could see through the little window in the door that they did not make it to the bathroom from the looks of it, because there was shit caked onto the floor of this carpeted hallway, like right in front of the men's room door. Someone just let it rip. They couldn't hold it in. They just couldn't. And you know, I was like, shit, that's unfortunate. That's just gonna be there. And it was like perfectly placed. It wasn't just in front of the men's room. It was also like perfectly in the hall, so that way you can't really step over it to go to the women's room. It was just disgusting. So both bathrooms are pretty much out of service after this person gets out of there and figures himself out. Which is truly a shame. Because I needed to pee at that point. I was waiting for someone to get out of the bathroom, but they didn't leave, and I didn't make it, apparently. So, but yeah, honestly, the bathroom wasn't too bad. The bathroom, like, when he was done and he left, it was fine. There was still some on the floor, but it wasn't nearly as catastrophic as the last time there was a mess. It wasn't really all that bad, yeah. But the thing that blew my mind was the dude, when he was done, he didn't even react to what had happened. He didn't look a mess. He didn't look like he just shit his pants, but he definitely did. And then he comes out, and he goes to buy something. And he, like, gets something from my coworker. He's like, now I'm going to this candy bar. And he's, like, filling up all this shit. And I'm like, oh, no. But I had to go frickin' figure out the whole bathroom situation, so I was hoping they would just get the hint. But they didn't even know that was the guy who shit his pants. Because he didn't care. There was not a thought in his mind about that he did that. Like, did he shit his brains out? Genuinely? Did he forget that he shit? Like, it's like, I don't understand. And it was so bad. And the smell, by the way, when you walked into that hallway, just to see if I went to go, like, knock on the door to see if he was okay. But I couldn't. I actually couldn't bear the stench of that shit. It was, I almost threw up on it, which is how bad it was. Some shit doesn't faze me. My shits don't faze me. Some people's shits, when it's bad, it's bad. And it was awful. Like, that was some of the worst things I've ever had the liberty of sniffing. It's terrible. But then, like an hour or so later, a very, very nice guy came in, and he was buying candy, as all nice guys do. But it wasn't for him. It wasn't even for his kids or anything like that. It was for his neighbor's kid, because they missed out on Halloween because they were in the hospital. Hello, Soup. Yeah, like their neighbor's kid was hospitalized, and they couldn't go trick or treating. And he spent like $50 on candy for the kid and his brother. Because I guess they were in the hospital. They couldn't, they weren't gonna go trick or treating while their brother was just out suffering. No, they both missed it, and he was like, "Oh, I'll just get him a bunch of candy because I feel bad." And he spent like $50 on candy for these two people, who probably have not done much for him because they're kids. But it's just the sweetest thing. It was so nice, and I'm just like, oh, like the whole time I am like holding back, just shoving compliments down this man's face. Because I just couldn't. That was so nice. I couldn't believe that he would do that for somebody like that. Because I know if I had missed Halloween like that, I would have wanted someone to do that for me. Or I would have just been really bummed. Because that has happened before. Not for Halloween, but for Easter. Like, whenever I would miss Easter, my aunt would just bring me my huge basket and like a couple of little thingies and be like, "Oh, here you go." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks." Because for 2 years in a row, I missed Easter. Because I was so horribly sick, and they didn't want my grandma getting sick. She was old, so they didn't want to risk that, which is completely fair. I'm not saying, "Oh man, I missed Easter." That's I mean, I did, but I was okay with it, you know. And at one point, they actually brought their dog, which I loved. Him, Pork Chop, greatest dog in the world. He's gone. Oh, he's gone now, but he was a sweetheart. Love that dog, but. Yeah, it was really nice, and knowing that still happens to other people is fucking amazing. I love that. So people are awesome. It's just in case you forgot that some people can be awesome, they can be, like that guy was. And that was the last thing from Thursday. I know we're already 11 minutes in, and I haven't even gotten to the topic, but I don't think it's gonna be that long of a topic, so it's fine. But then Friday comes around, the lady comes back. And once again, we spend like 2 hours trying to figure out her cards, so she had to refund the other 80s. At this point, 280 cards have been spent up. And not only that, but we were out of the cards that she wanted to use anyway, so we couldn't even do her order here. We'd have to send her away, or have her like order them to her house or something. We had no other options, so she spent like 2 hours. She left with no cards. She thought she could maybe get it set up online, and I just felt so horribly bad for her, because I was like, I don't even know if this is going to come out well. I don't know if anything is going to come out well. It's a disaster. So I hope nothing but the best for her, but I have no idea. But again, she was really, really sweet about it, so I'm not mad. And then Saturday happened, where it's just so stupid. I am a big fan of doing like zoom ins on my face for like comic effect, for like whenever I'm taking like like whenever I'm like talking to my friends, like I'll like zoom in my face and be like, "Oh," and just be really stupid, like with pictures or videos or whatever it may be. Just a zoom in on my face is one of the funniest things I can imagine, honestly. And I did it with my mom's calendar last year. I have to think about things to do for that. It'll be fun. But yeah, that's not the point of this. The point is, I go into work, and some people are just leaving, and I'm just coming in. And one of the people there was like, how's your day been? And I, like an idiot, because my brain is still in silly mode, because I was playing games with my friend before I went to work. And so I go in, and I just, like, she asked how my day was, and I go right behind her, really up close, my head tilted down, so it's like an upwards angle of my face. And I'm just like, "Oh, that's pretty good, how about you?" And she turns around, and she's like, "What the fuck, why are you so close?" And I was like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, dude, that was, I'm sorry, that was weird." And luckily, she plays it off like it's fun, like she thought it was funny, so she comes up to me, and she's like she's a lot shorter than me, so she can't really get up to my neck or anything. Well, I guess I don't know. I'm bad at height. I'm bad at height estimations. She like barely gets up to my face, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing good too." And so we both just had a laugh out of it. But I was like, that could have gone so sour. I think it was anybody else, because that would have just been so awkward and weird. I don't know why I did that. I thought it was funny, and I mean it was pretty funny. It turned out pretty funny, but it's so stupid. And then Monday, Tuesday, Sunday was off, so I didn't actually get anything to do Sunday for this week in retail. But Wednesday, which was yesterday, I closed at a different spot. A whole lot of shit went wrong. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna talk too much about them, but like every drawer was like over by a few bucks. One of the things broke that I needed to get money out of. It was a mess. It was a disaster. That place was. I like the place. It's a very nice place, but the people are nice too. But again, it's just a disaster. It was a disaster store, at least compared to mine. Never want to go back there. Well, I do. Eventually, maybe if I'm needed there, I don't really care. But I mean, it's not where I prefer to go. And I mean, I guess that brings us, not really, but kinda, into the topic for today, which you all already know. It's trying new things. I might already have a very similar video about this sort of stuff. Like, I feel like I've talked about at least my new food habits and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess I want to talk about trying new things, because there's a lot of there's like, trying new things as a whole is very fun. I enjoy trying new things. I'm a big fan of stepping a little out of my comfort zone just to try something, even if I don't like continue to pursue something. Just knowing that I at least gave it an effort, I feel it's just very fun. I enjoy tipping my hat into a lot of rings, and one of those rings used to not be, but it has recently became food. Because as a kid, as I've mentioned, I know I mentioned this in a previous video, I was an incredibly picky eater. I was super picky. I wouldn't eat, like, what the hell was that? Sorry, I'm losing my mind. I thought something on my screen faded out, but there's nothing there. So I just imagined there was something there, and then it faded out because it's reality. I'm going insane. But yeah, like, always been picky, but I do like trying new foods. It's been a surprisingly positive experience for the most part. And some of the more recent ones include chili, because chili is just something that I've never been personally interested in. As a kid, I didn't really eat a whole lot of meat at all, because I thought I only really cared for chicken, because everything else kind of looked and smelled gross. Since then, I've changed. But I've been slowly trying to just go back more to like just chicken, because I know red meat's not necessarily the best for you. So I've been trying to dim down how much of that I eat. But when my family makes food, they just make whatever they make and I eat it. So hey, whole world. Assuming I like it, which is not a lot of things. But chili has become one of them, and that's mostly because of this super dope chili place that's in the city near me. Very, very delicious fucking chili. Some of the best chili I can imagine. Anyway, I've had chili before, and at least I've been in the presence of chili before, I should say, and I wasn't that big of a fan. I just don't like beans. I normally really, really hate beans, and chili, from what I knew, had beans in it. So I was like, oh, I don't really want to eat this. And whenever I ate it, I'd be like, oh, there's beans in there, blah, blah. But I tried it, and it's been a while since I've tried to enjoy chili before. So I tried it, and it was absolutely a delicious, tasty chili. And then, because of that, my sister's wife was like, oh, dude, you think this chili's good? You should try my chili. And me and my twin sister were like, alright, bet. So, just recently, they made their chili, and holy shit, it was delicious. And I felt the beans in there, but they were delicious. Like, they were so good. Like, I didn't, like, pluck out the beans or anything. I was just like, this is awesome. Like, I don't think I really tasted that much bean. Again, I don't really know what flavor is. When I'm eating something, I assume the flavor is just the culmination of everything. Very rarely does my brain put together, oh, this tastes like this because of this specific spice, or this specific meat, or vegetable, or whatever. I just think it's the food. Like, unless it's like a condiment, because then, like, it's like, okay, I know what this tastes like, and then I'm putting ketchup on, now I know what it tastes like with ketchup on it. If I'm adding things to something I've already eaten, then I'll know what it is. But otherwise, I'm just like, okay, this is this because it has this, and this. I can't. If you add something to it, then maybe it'll taste different. But for me, it just tastes exactly the same. And I've never had chili without beans, so that's just how it was. And it was tasty. So I can't really taste what the beans really tasted like. But I remember hating beans as a kid, and I don't know why about I like them now. So it's weird. My taste buds have been flying like crazy to different lands. Still not a big fan of fruit though. You can't change the texture of fruit. Those beans were really soft. I've had like kind of harder beans, not like crunchy, but like not like tougher beans, not like super just loose. Oh yeah, melts in my mouth beans, like those chili ones were. But texture for me has always been a bad thing, which is why I should hate something else. But first, I'm going to talk about walnuts, because walnuts, I've heard they're good. I've heard they're good for you, and I tried some the other day, and I can't quite pin what it is about walnuts that people actually enjoy. I'm not gonna say I'm a walnut hater. I like. It's weird because I had them and I'm like, oh, this texture is like wet paper. It doesn't really taste like anything. But for whatever reason, I was compelled to just keep eating more. I ate like a third of like that 8-ounce bag of walnuts, and I'm like, why am I eating these? I don't. It just tastes like, it just feels like I'm eating plain wet paper. That's all it felt like to me. But luckily enough, I guess, I do happen to enjoy partaking in chewing on paper. So maybe that is why I liked it so much. I don't know. It's weird. But the walnuts, they said they weren't the best walnuts, my sisters, because they had it too. They're like, these aren't the best, but they're, but the thing is, I think she kept eating them. She's like, oh, these are really actually pretty good. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just not tasting something. Because that's it. I mention this every time I talk about food, I'm pretty sure anyway. But my nostrils are almost always clogged. And as a result, I can almost always never really taste anything unless it's incredibly obvious and incredibly strong flavor. So I didn't really taste anything with walnuts. Maybe it's a subtle thing, but I don't know. I just don't know. I also just kind of honk things down. I don't really take the time to chew them. Because whenever I was a kid and I would do that, I'd start hating things. I'd be like, oh, there's different flavors. Oh, there's different textures. Oh. And then I'd throw up. I threw up a lot as a kid. I threw up a ton as a kid. I don't know what was wrong with me. But the last thing I have, at least for the list of food that I wrote down initially, before I started talking today, were Raffaellos. It's like a type of candy. It's an almond coconut treat. And let me tell you, I hate coconut. I hate almonds. I cannot tell you what it is about these in particular, but they're delicious. The coconut isn't too textury. It's not like a normal coconut texture for me. Like, with coconut, it stays in my mouth a long time. I hate the feeling of there being food in my mouth when I'm not trying to eat. So whenever there's something, whenever I have anything of coconut, it feels like it sticks in my mouth for forever. But these, it doesn't really do that. So it's good. And the thing is though, I don't know what I'm tasting when I eat this. I guess it tastes good. It just tastes good. It tastes like coconut, which I don't hate the flavor of coconut. I just hate the texture. It just tastes like good coconut. I don't know what else is in it. I know there's almonds, and I fucking hate almonds. So I don't know where the almond went, but I don't taste it in these. It's strange. It's very strange. But what is stranger is how I have come about to remind myself that I like these. Because this was just yesterday, on Wednesday. Because after I come out of work, my sisters come to pick me up, and they hand me one of the little boxes of them that, and they look so proud of themselves and pleased, like, look, we got you these. And I'm like, what are those? And they're like, what do you mean, what are those? You loved these. Like, when we lived back in Brooklyn, you had these all the time. You love these. I'm like, no, I did not. What even is it? And I look at the box, and I look at the bottom left, it says almond coconut treat, and I'm telling them to their face, this sounds disgusting. Why would I want this? When did I ever even eat these? And they're like, you've had these boxes before. Like, we gave some to you, and you're, oh, these are really good, and you kept having some. Like, we even split a box one day. And I'm hard disagreeing in the car. I'm like, no. This didn't happen. I hate these things. Like, why would I like anything with almond and coconut? I hate almond and I hate coconut. So why would I even want these? And they're just like, well, just try one, all right? It's you like these. You've had them before. And I'm like, no, I haven't. I'll try it because you bought me a whole freaking box of them. But I'm not gonna like it. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna like it. And I pop it open, and out comes this just fucking ball of coconut bits, and I'm like, why would I want to eat this? This looks disgusting. Like, I hate, like, I'm gonna hate everything about what's happening here. This is the worst. Why would you do this to me? And I put it in my mouth, and as I'm chewing, they're like, I wouldn't be surprised if you hate it now, because you really just don't like, you despise coconut and almonds, and you don't remember eating these and liking them, so you're probably gonna hate them. And as they're saying that, I go to unwrap another one because it's delicious, and I don't understand why. And I don't understand how they figured out that I like these, because I don't have any memory of eating these before yesterday in my entire life. But they were so keen and so assured that I've had them before and that I liked them before that they bought me a whole box, and they were so happy with themselves. And I don't understand how they figured that out, why I like these. It just fucking blows my mind. And we had such a huge laughing fit in the car because I'm sitting there hard passing on these things for like 2-3 minutes, and then I pop one in my mouth and I'm like, oh my god, this is actually delicious. But I'm the entire time I'm like, well, I've never had these before, these are really good. And I'm just like, I don't know how you figured this out. I'm thinking that I got Mandela'd or something to forget what these are, but they all knew I liked. I don't understand how they knew I liked it. I have no idea. I still don't have an idea. I've never had these before. When have I had these? They said our friends gave them to us at one point. I have no memory of that. Absolutely zero memory of that. It's been blotted out, probably because of my distaste for almonds and coconut nowadays. But these are really delicious, and you should have them. They're pretty good. If you like the taste of coconut but don't like that it sticks in your mouth, at least for me they don't do that, so I'm very happy with that. So they're pretty good. But yeah, I just figured I'd throw that in there. So I technically didn't try something new that night, last night, but I did. I technically didn't, but I did, you know. So there we go. There's food, everybody. Those are recent new food things that I've tried. I know I've talked about it before, so I'm not just going to repeat every single thing that I've tried or hated or whatever. I'm not going to do that to you. Figured I'd just go about some of the newer things. However, what I am going to talk about is trying new activities. So, what this means, and I'll start with a very simple one, video games. Video games, I love trying a new video game, because the more you try them, the more you start to refine your taste in the genres and what you like and all that stuff. But at the same time, it costs a lot of money to just want to play a new video game. Same thing with board games, but with board games, I buy them knowing I'm going to like the game, because I have not found a board game that I've hated, because I don't just buy every board game. I go over there and I'm like, okay, what am I going to spend $40-50 on at least, and then I have to keep on a shelf? You know, like my brain kind of already understands there's a lot that goes with buying a board game. With a video game, though, it's like, oh, hey, $10, I can get this, $30 for this one, we'll just try them out, we'll see if I like them. And then, sometimes I like them, sometimes I really don't. And a lot of the ones that are very hit or miss for me are the ones that my friends recommend. Because, specifically one of my closest friends, he's recommended me 2 games, and he's had me play with him 2 games before in our friendship, that one I've liked a lot and one I've hated. I loved Charlie Murder. It was on Xbox 360, and it was just a freaking beatdown game where you're a bunch of punks kicking the shit out of people and brutally murdering them. It was fun. I played it with him. I played it with my older brother and my cousin. We had a whole ass party for that game, and it was so much fun. Like Charlie Murder, I want to play it for the channel, or like to stream or something. It's fun. It's incredibly gory, though, so I don't know if they'd be cool with that. But we'll find out. Who knows? But one that I absolutely despise is Monster Hunter. I hate Monster Hunter, but I also like it. That's the thing. I have to really be in the mood to play a grindy game. Like, if I don't like as I start fading out of the game, I hate it more and more. Like, the first few days of playing a grindy game, I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. And then a weekend, I'm like, oh my god, I have to spend the next 30 fights trying to get a 2% drop from this dickhead, only to not get it. My friends get 4 of them. I'm not a fan. I like a game where you play the boss, and then as you're fighting them, you keep progressing to a stagnant level where eventually you can fight the big boss from just fighting every boss like once, maybe twice if you want to. Like, I don't like having to go back and fight something 90 times just to get a little bit of it. I used to love Warframe, but something clicked one day in my brain. Because me and my friends played Warframe nightly for like 3 to 6, probably like a year, honestly. For like a year, we would play Warframe like every night, and we kept unlocking new guys and just grinding and grinding and grinding. And at one point, my brain was like, "This isn't fucking fun. I hate this." And that was like, and it really sucked because it was right after I spent like 3-4 weeks trying to grind to get a fucking cat. Because I didn't want to spend money on the game, so I was like, alright, I'll just get a cat the hard way. Which, oh my god. Hard way indeed. It was terrible. But, you know, along the way I kept, you know, unlocking other dudes. I still love the concept of Warframe. Or at least where I stopped. The Railjack stuff, I wasn't too into. My friend fucking loves the Railjack stuff. They're very big fans of just keeping a thing alive while you're sitting in it. Which is like cool, I guess. I don't get it, but I mean, it was fun. But once a game turns me off from it, it takes a lot to get me back into it. Like Warframe, I've tried playing Warframe again before, and I was immediately met with, I want this, I want this, I want this. Oh, I have to grind for 3-4 days for each thing. I'll pass, thanks. It's just to stop being fun. Like, if I'm playing with my friends again, if I'm just playing to stick around and use their abilities, because that was the most fun thing. I loved getting Ivara. Ivara was my favorite little dude, because I could just go around and shoot things slowly. But when you're playing with multiple people, you also can't really do that, so I didn't get to play Ivara how I wanted to a lot. But it was so much fun. I could actually see myself playing that again. Just to play it, like not to unlock anything, just to use what I have. I could see it. But I didn't have that good of stuff. I eventually got like a decent bow. I loved the bows. I only really used bows in that game. Because I didn't feel like trying new things. And I just wanted to keep using bows. Those were fun. But yeah, lots of other video games are very hit or miss. Battle Block Theater was a really big hit. I love that. I'd love to play that for the channel. I have it on Steam. I just haven't played it on my computer. I only ever played it on Xbox. Lots of games I played on Xbox I have on here. I just haven't got around to playing again because it's been like, I want to play these other games. It's just strange. It's just an interesting thing. Video games, trying new ones is very hit or miss. But when you get a hit, it's delicious. For the King was such a good hit. It's mostly just a board game, if I'm being honest. It's just a video game board game, which I'm okay with. I like that. In a similar vein, movies. And movies, I have to say, I like movies. I don't think there's been a movie I've sat down to watch that I haven't enjoyed. It's very similar to, I guess I didn't actually include this, but music. With listening to music, it's very rare that I hate a song I'm listening to. Even if it's a completely different genre, completely different singer. Like, I like just about anything that my, like whenever I'm, like, getting a ride from my sisters and they just listen to their music, 99 out of 100 times, I like what they've got. I like what they put on. Everything's great. There's occasional ones where it's just like a super loud rap with like really fucking brain evaporating backing tracks and just a whole lot of swears and shit. I don't care for swears. I mean, if you're gonna swear in a song, that's cool. I don't care. But when it gets super just like when it's super just, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like braggy. I don't like when a song gets braggy. You know, it's like, so, and that's what rap tends to be nowadays. Like, oh, look at me, I'm gonna get a new car, and then I'm gonna bang a lady, and I'm gonna get another car to bang a different lady, and I banged your lady, and then they start shitting on another rapper who's in the industry for whatever reason. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't. Some of it doesn't make sense. I do like some rap. I just couldn't name anyone that I liked in rap. This is the thing with me with songs. And music in general, only very recently have I started listening to bands. I used to just listen to songs that would play on the radio, or my sisters would be listening to, and I'd be like, oh, that's good song. And whenever I find a song, I'm like, yeah, that song. But I never pursued a band before, until like Jonathan Colton, I guess. But even when I first listened to Jonathan Colton, I listened to like his first few songs on his Best Tour Ever album, or whatever it was called. Like, I listened to, like, IKEA a ton, and that was, like, my favorite song for a while. But then Weird Al, and I started listening to Weird Al a lot, and, like, NSP, the Beatles, Shadoy, but there's a lot. And recently I've actually gotten into Ace of Hearts, which is like a Alpha Red's music. Big fan of that. That stuff's good. I didn't think I'd like it. It's pretty good. It's good to listen to. I'm a big fan of that sort of music, surprisingly enough. I just like just about everything. With music, I love just about every song that I listen to. At least I get inspired by it, or I get moved by it in whatever way it's expecting to move me. And the same thing with movies. Which was the topic initially. I love movies. I don't really branch very far out unless it's either my choice to watch a movie because I look at it and I'm like, oh, that looks really cool. That rarely happens. Most of the time, it's my sisters or my mom is watching a movie, and I'm watching with them, and I'm having a fucking blast watching it. There are times where I'll go out and watch my own, like a movie that I want to watch. I think is interesting, but it's very rare. It's very rare. Most of the time, it's my siblings bringing me a movie, and us being like, "All right, let's watch it." And it's been very enjoyable. I'm not picky when it comes to media for the most part. I think with video games too, the only games I will mostly refuse to play are grindy games because it's just why? I just want to play the game. I don't want to play the game that I don't. It's just if the point of the game is to spend hours chunking away at something just so you can unlock a thing to play the game a little bit easier, I hate it. Not for me. And so I'm gonna stop with the virtual media, I guess, and we'll delve into actual physical maneuvers, sports and stuff. Trying badminton for the first time was a very fun experience. And I think with most sports, again, big fan. I just like being active, but I just don't have people to be active with. Like, I'll play badminton on the occasion with my twin sister, but it's very, very rare that we do. And other than that, that's really all I like walking, but walking's not a new thing, you know? But like with one of the biggest attempts at trying a new sport, other than badminton for me, was soccer. I enjoy the idea of soccer. I like just running around kicking a ball. I'm very bad at it. Because my object permanence is, I guess, still not the best, or depth perception, whatever the words are that I'm trying to look for. Something along those lines. I'm not good at keeping the ball with me. Like, whenever people, in after-school programs, people have tried to help me keep the ball near me. I can't do it. I put too much force in with one foot than the other. It all is a mess. With juggling and stuff still, I have some trouble keeping the balls near me. I'm very bad at just keeping them centered around my body. With basketball, while everyone was playing basketball, I would have to be personally set aside to dribble with the teacher, because I couldn't do it. I was so bad at it. There were only, literally, for like my kindergarten or first grade class, or first or second grade, I think. First or second grade, there was 2 people out of the entire, like, 4 different 30-person classrooms that weren't able to play basketball yet. And that was me and a kid who was literally deaf. I was the only one who, in theory, should have been able to do it. I just couldn't. The deaf kid figured that out faster than me. And I'm not saying that as deaf people are stupid thing. I'm just saying I feel like it's probably easier because you'll at least hear it bounce so you know when to even look down to see it again. I couldn't do it faster than that guy. And that made me feel so shitty. So I never really tried basketball except for like free throws and stuff. That's fun. But soccer I really wanted to try to play. But every time I would play, a very common occurrence happened. I'd get my face kicked in by the ball. I don't know if the kids did it on purpose. I don't know if it was a thing that was just, I'm going to go full force. Cause I enjoyed playing goalie, so you kind of expect to get your face hit in. Mostly just because I was so bad at running with the ball, but I was good at keeping track of the ball. Like, I knew where it was, I just couldn't do anything about it. But with goalie, you had a lot more wiggle room for error, I feel. So, like, if you are like, oh, it's going to the left, let me go left, you're gonna go left. With the ball, you have to keep going left, right. There's a lot of maneuvering you have to do. But there was one point in, I think, like 4th grade after school thing, I was playing soccer, and we were in the little gym, and I'm the goalie, and they kick it into my face, and I'm like, okay, ow, hurts. The gym teacher comes over, like, hey, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, he, like, wiped my face off with all the sweat, and I don't remember if my nose was bleeding or not. I think it was. No, it wasn't. But after a few minutes, I go back in to keep doing goalie, and the kids are like, yeah! And then not even 2 minutes later, it happens again where they bop me in the face, and then my nose starts to bleed. And I'm like, I'm gonna sit this one out, Chief. I'm not gonna lie. That hurt, man. I'm okay. And that's the majority of what I even remember from doing soccer. The most stuff that I remember was just people telling me I sucked, and there's occasionally a couple people who tried to make me better. But it was mostly just kids who were younger than me, taking it way too seriously and yelling at me every time that I did something wrong. And I was always like, I'm sorry, I don't know. I know I'm not the best, and you're like 3 years younger than me, and you're fucking stomping on me, but come on, man, be nice. It was very interesting time playing that stuff. I did enjoy it, though. It's like, again, I like sports. I've never had a chance to just chill with sports. If I ever play with somebody, it's always to win or to play exactly by the rules, not just to dick around and have fun, which is what I feel most things should be. Like when I'm watching a movie or watching a TV show or playing a game, it's rarely about what's happening in front of me. It's mostly just me cracking jokes at whatever's happening, or me just talking to my friends and having a laugh about whatever's happening. I'm not super invested all the time. And we'll keep this last one pretty short because we are coming down to the end, but also there's not that much left. Interests. And I have a lot of interests, which I guess kind of, it's not necessarily activities, but these are all kind of, I guess, activities. Playing guitar, I've been very interested in doing. I've been trying to get good at that, but I'm really bad at it. My fingers are, I don't know what it is. Like, I see people, I always think my fingers are just too big, but I see people with huge fingers playing guitar, playing ukulele beautifully, so that shouldn't be an issue. It is for me, but it shouldn't be. But I'm just really bad at it, and I've been trying for a while, and I want to try more this coming year. I really want to try to get good at it. I don't know how good I'm going to be able to get, but I want to try. Alright, at the end of the day, that's pretty much what it is about trying new things. Yoda is full of shit. When he says do or do not, there is no try. Sometimes that's nice. It's a reassuring thing. For most things, it's okay to just try it. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. At least you tried. You didn't not. You just tried, and that's okay. You don't have to succeed at everything you do. Whatever you want to do, just do it and have fun doing it. But with guitar, I do want to try to get better at it. And I do want to eventually be able to say I do play guitar. Not I'm trying to play guitar. But that's where I am right now. I'm trying, but it's a very, very interesting level of try because I haven't really tried in a bit because I've been so focused on other shit. But I do want to get back at it. Playing harmonica, I do actually just kind of know how to play harmonica. I'm not the best at it. I'm still not good with bending. I'm still not very good at the advanced stuff, and my hand to brain coordination isn't exactly the best. So if a song is too fast, it takes me a while to figure it out. But I do have fun doing it though, and I still enjoy that. So I'm still trying it out. I'm still trying, but I'm able to play songs on it, which is very nice. Don't take the Across the Universe cover as my best. I do know how to play that song without errors. It's for me it takes a few tries, and I saved that to the very last minute, and also kind of felt like errors in what it was supposed to be more comedic than an actual cover, so I feel like that kind of showed with a couple errors thrown in there. But yeah, I generally I'm okay at it. I'm not the best, but I'm okay. And then also I just put literally every other instrument as a topic for this because I have a fascination with music. I don't know what it is. I really like every instrument. I hear a piano, and I'm like, I want to play piano. Hear a violin, I want to play violin. I hear an automaton, I watch the real Sully G, and I'm like, I want to do that. But I can't. I try for a little bit, and then I'm like, alright, I can't do it. If I can't do it immediately, I lose a lot of hope. And I feel like that's kind of with guitar. It's one of the big reasons I haven't really put all my effort into it, because it hasn't been working out so far. So my brain's like, it's probably not just going to work out. With harmonica, it's a fairly easy instrument to learn, because you don't have to, it's not as hard to, get the basics of it down. All you have to do is just blow into one hole specifically. Once you can do that, you're pretty baller. But with guitar, you have to be able to like hold certain strings down at certain points for everything, and it gets crazy. Like other instruments are very like just you have to pay attention to everything you're doing. With harmonicas, just blow, breathe, breathe in, breathe out, have fun. With violin though, my twin sister plays violin, and she's learning too. She's getting there. She's having a lot of fun with it. At least from what I can see, she's doing really good. She's doing very, very good. And one night she was in my room. We were all just chilling, watching Shark Tank, and they were trying it out. They were practicing. They just got it retuned, and it's sounding awesome. And everyone around was giving it a try, and everyone was just like pretty bad at it because they don't know how to play a violin. And then I get a whirl at it, and I'm like hitting things and like just having a fun little time with it because I just love fucking around with an instrument. It just makes noise, and I think it sounds great no matter what it is. And my sister was like, "Oh, that's actually really good. You're really good at like hitting individual strings," which no one, everyone else was kind of having a big struggle with, and she still sort of does. But I was kind of just figuring it out. I was getting okay at it, and I was like, "Oh, thanks. I guess. I mean, I was just dicking around with it because I don't know what else to really do." So that felt good. That felt good knowing I was kind of okay at violin, I guess. And violin sounds lovely. And she was actually asking if I was interested in wanting to play violin. And I was like, dude, I'm interested in literally every instrument ever. So maybe that will be something I get good at. I don't know. But other than instruments, I also have just literally about everything. Hence, and as an example, I was like the learning to thing I'm doing this year. I've been learning a bunch of random things. It started out more so as me actually just doing things I want to try. But then I had the whole alphabetical idea, like one of every alphabet, and then that sort of started branching into things I wasn't expecting to do. I'm still having fun doing it, but it's not necessarily learning things I think will be fun. I just more so guess learning things that fit into the letter scheme that I think I could do something with. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I do have a lot of fun just trying new things, like the magic ones, the juggling ones, the axe throwing ones, the paper folding and all that stuff, origami. I like learning new things, and because I always see people doing things, and I'm like, wow, that's so cool. I wish I could do that, no matter what it is. Whether it's like, again, all the things I said, like drawing, playing an instrument, all those things, just being really good at a sport. I've always been like, that's so cool. I want to be able to do that because I'm just I'm easily inspired, but it doesn't last long. So if it's not something I honestly try to work at, it doesn't stick around. Like my brain doesn't really stick to things for very long. And drawing has been something that I've been trying to get a little bit better at, which, well, not like better at, but I guess both better at, and just I want to do it more regularly, because drawing is a lot of fun, which is kind of why I did the drawing Pokemon from memory stream, because I thought that would just be really fun. And it was fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. And I hope to, I'm going to make a quick, video with it, with all the stuff from the stream. And I think that was fun. I had a lot of fun. Tomorrow, I'm going to be learning to paint as a little preview. Like, haha, look, you guys get to know what's happening now. No, you're going to be learning to paint. A lot of focus on just having fun with art. And that's mostly because I have an idea that I want to do with YouTube for that. But I'm still trying to work out all the nooks and crannies with it. But it might happen. It might happen. It might be next week. I don't know. It's really kind of just up in the air. We'll have to see how it goes. But I'm excited because it's a new thing and I want to try it. And I've given it a little bit of a test and it's been very fun to do it. And, just drawing for an hour and a half before, it was very fun. So I want to do something with that. But I'll have to see if it all works out. But with that, I guess we'll call it there. Lots of new things. If you're out there listening, try some new things. It doesn't matter if it's small, if it's big, if you continue to do it, if you get really passionate with it and make it a whole thing. Because for me, I feel like a lot of it boils down to I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know what I want to do. I kind of just want to have fun. and I'm having fun looking at a bunch of things, learning a bunch of things. It's very fun. So I am going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep just trying new things anyway. And it makes for fun stories, too. So, who knows? Either way, y'all have a great rest of your day. Thanks for listening to Stranded Deep in Conversation. I've been Harris. And you have a great rest of your day. Bye now, everybody. Goodbye.